and best wish to us all. We thank God Almighty, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, because of the blessing and grace. We thank we can get that at this very event. We later look forward to it, namely workshop with title Implementation of Capstone Design Project at University Tun Husein Onn Malaysia. Even by online, because the pandemic, we hope this pandemic will soon be over. Amen. Okay, before we start this event, please, I will introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Saiful Alim. I am a lecturer at the Electrical Engineering Department, Engineering Faculty, University Jenderal Sudirman. Today, as MC for this workshop. Okay, previously I say welcome to Professor Madya, Insinyur Dr. Kian and Dr. Nur Hafizah Binti Ngajikin from Faculty of Electrical and Electronic Engineering from University Tun Husein Onn Malaysia. Once again, we say thank you for the presence of our keynote speakers. Okay, for all this audience, before we start this event, let us pray in accordance to our trust respectively. May God make this a rewarding event for us all, and the event will run smoothly and conducive. Please start, begin. Okay, then. Okay, for audience, before we start the core of the show, the event, I will read out the agenda for this meeting. Our agenda today is follow opening from me as MC. After that, we'll welcome speech from our Dean Engineering Faculty. After that, there are presentation from Dr. Nur Hafizah Binti Ngajikin. Continue to presentation from Professor Madya, Insinyur Dr. Kian. After that, we a session of discussion and Q&A with keynote speaker. We're discussing about implementation of Capstone Design Project, and after that, will be in the end of the event a closing speech from me as a MC. Okay. Maybe without no further ado, please for Mr. Professor Suroso will give a speech, opening speech from this event. So please, Prof. Suroso, the time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Saiful.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Professor Dr. Kian and Dr. Nur Hafizah Binti Ngajikin from University Tun Husein Onn Malaysia. Today I also saw Professor Wahyu Tomo. Hello, Prof. Wahyu. And also the Honorable Head of Electrical Engineering Department, Jenderal Sudirman University. The Honorable of all workshop participants. Best wishes to all of us. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Faculty of Engineering, Jenderal Sudirman University, I would like to welcome all of the speakers and participants who attend today's workshop on implementation of Capstone Design Project. This event is organized by Electrical Engineering Department, Jenderal Sudirman University, and the Faculty of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, University Tun Husein Onn Malaysia, as a part of collaboration activities between our universities. We are very grateful for Dr. T and Dr. Nur Hafizah, who will share their knowledge and experience on implementation of Capstone Design Project at University Tun Husein Onn Malaysia in this workshop. As a higher education institution in engineering, we aspire to produce qualified graduates and engineers with significant professional knowledge, innovative ideas, high attitude, and excellent leadership skill to respond to the change in the technology, economy, and society. Jenderal Sudirman University deeply intends supporting the scientific and academic activities to educate students in achieving greater character graduates who are ready to compete globally. I do hope that this workshop to be a valuable forum to improve our knowledge about implementation of Capstone Design Project class, especially for our lecturers and students in Faculty of Engineering in Sudirman University. At last, I wish you all enjoying the workshop, and this event will give contribution to improve teaching quality in Faculty of Engineering Cinta Sudirman University. Thank you very much, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Suroso, for the opening speech. Okay, we'll begin from presentation from Dr. Hafizah. Maybe time and time time is yours. Yes.
Pak Saiful.
Yes.
I will guide.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Today our moderator is Mr. Harry. Mr. Harry, please with Mr. Hafizah. Sorry, Miss Hafizah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Saiful.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. So I hope everyone is in a good condition and healthy, even in this pandemic situation. So today I will guide the presentation. So there will be through presentation in the first sessions. We will have Dr. Hafizah Binti Ngajikin. Before we start, so I will read a quick biography of Dr. Hafizah. So Dr. Hafizah is a lecturer at Fakulti Kejuruteraan Elektrik dan Elektronik at University Tun Husein Onn Malaysia, or UTHM. So her research interest is optical devices and sensors, and then also spectroscopy and microelectro-optomechanical system. So I think she already make some innovations also in the same field, in optical sensor and spectrophotometer. So I think that's a quick introduction to Dr. Hafizah. Hello, Dr. Hafizah. Are you ready to give your presentation?
Inshallah, Doctor.
Okay. So you are free to present in whether in Malay or in English, because more or less we also understand if you are talking in. Okay, sure. Okay, no problem. So the time is yours. So you will have around maybe 45 minutes, and then we continue with Prof. And then we will have the discussion at the end after both presentation. Okay. So the time is yours. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Harry. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Thank you for your introduction just now. I'm Hafizah, and I would like to thank to Universitas Sudirman for inviting us to share our little experience on handling this Capstone project. Okay. And I can see here we have our friends also as well from UTHM here, Dr. Wahyu, Dr. Jais. Okay, so let me share my screen first. Okay, can you share it? Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see it. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So I believe in the second part, Dr. T will share more details on how we implement the Capstone project in UTHM. So for the first part, I just excite our brain on what are the challenges that we faces throughout this year in managing the Capstone. Right. So my first experience managing this Capstone project start in year 2016. At that time, I'm working with University Teknologi Malaysia Skudai, very near to UTHM. And after that, I continue helping university handling this in UTHM. And hopefully whatever that we share today can help you in organizing the capstone in your university. So in your university, have you offered this course before, Pak Hadi?
Yes, we have.
So you already offer this course in your university, yes, right?
Yes, we have the course. The name of the course is Project Keteknikan. So in Indonesian, it's Project Keteknikan. Yes, but it's a capstone project. It's similar. Yeah.
Right. So in that case, I think you also can give us a feedback on our implementation, whether there is any part that we can improve as well, right?
Okay, sure, no problem.
All right. Thank you very much. Tak gerak tak Okay, alright. Okay, so basically there are 4 issues that I will share with all of you today. Okay, the first one is on the accreditation itself. What are the things that we need to prepare prior to accreditation? Okay, and during the accreditation process itself. So whatever that we conduct the capstone project, basically is to improve quality of the program, not for the accreditation. The accreditation help us to control the quality of the capstone project. So sometimes some people they might think that maybe a few months before the accreditation we work hard, okay, to prepare the documentation. However, for us, I think this one is a continuous process. We need to prepare earlier. Okay, so that whatever that we plan must be comply with the board or accord requirement. Okay, and the second issue that I will highlight is on the limitation of the facilities, because the cost that we need to handle here is it is not a normal theoretical course, but it is like a combination of multiple field in which we can say that it is a combination of theoretical concept, the laboratory works, plus with a group work. So it will have issues on the facilities. Okay, and of course, some projects they require financial, so it can be one of the issue. And the last one is about the team working. Okay, the teamwork while handling the project. All right, so let's go for the first one. The first issue is on the accreditation. So when we talk about accreditation, it is quite what can I say? It is a process that requires a very detailed documentation preparation, and also need a very good understanding on the requirement of that has been highlighted in the manual. As for us in Malaysia, we follow the EAC, Engineering Accreditation Council. Okay, so there are manual that we need to obey and follow whatever the statement that they put. However, the statement that they put, it is not okay. Some part there is a specific method that they request us to follow and practice. However, there are some part. For example, how do you want to do the assessment? What level of the project that you should handle? That one is very subjective. Okay, so that is why understanding on the manual and fulfilling the requirement on the manual is the main priority. Okay, so what should we prepare in terms of the documentation? Basically, in general, the main item that we need to prepare is the titles and synopsis of each project. Okay, so we have groups of students. Okay, we have group of students. We form the group, and the group must be assigned to a team that they need to answer. They need to design the project based on that team. So each project must have their own unique titles. Okay, so let's say we have 20 projects, so we will have 20 titles and synopsis of the project. Okay, that is the thing that we need to have in our filing. Okay, beside that, we also need to have evidence such as name of the supervisor and students group, right? So the qualified SV is one of the parameter that they are looking at. So, for example, if we are from engineering faculty, so the qualified SV, of course, must be graduated in that engineering field. For example, electrical must be graduated from engineering electrical. And this one, the second criteria, the maximum number of students is one of the things that they look at, which is in our EAC manual, they put the maximum number of students is 5. So it is good to have 5, but not more than 5. Okay. For example, we have odd numbers, then maybe the other groups can have 4. Okay. Combination of 4 and 5. Okay. That is the ideal number of the grouping. All right. And we also need to have the samples of student report and the assessment rubrics. Okay. As for the assessment rubrics, okay, I think Dr. T, after this, will share with you how we detail the rubrics. Okay. Previously, we are not preparing a very detailed assessment form. Maybe we put scale from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, for the accreditation process, we need to prepare the scaling. Each scale must be detailed in terms of the expectation. For example, if we give maximum 5 for the references, maybe we can put what is the maximum number, okay, sorry, not the maximum, what is the expectation number of references if they want to get 5 marks, which is the full mark for the references part, for example. Okay, so that is the assessment rubrics. All right, and of course the course learning outcome, okay, of the subject of the course must align with the PLO. Okay, and the grade distribution as well. Okay, they will take a look on the grade distribution, whether is it reflected with the quality of the project that the student produce, or the grade distribution, whether it is Gaussianly distributed, or maybe all the students get A. That might be query on that kind of distribution. All right, and this is the I think one of the important element, which is the core element. Okay, why we need to conduct this capstone project? Because we want to not only to introduce, but we want to implement. We want to put, we want to mix the complex engineering problem element. Okay, and we want to assess it. Okay, not only we want to implement this CEP, but we want to assess it. Okay, this is the objective, but we do it slowly at FKEE UTHM. Starting from last semester, we have draft the assessment form that I would say not 100% measure the CEP element, but we start assessing the elements. But the details rubric on the CEP is not yet ready as for our case. Okay, next, okay, this one is also highlighted in the manual, where we need to consider the public health, safety, cultural impact. Okay, we need to take a look on the impact of economical. We need to look at the business and management, such as the NABC analysis, okay, the bill of materials. And one more thing, I think this one is very good, has been highlighted by the board, which is we need to emphasize on the practice element. Okay, emphasize on the practice element. Since we are producing engineer, we want them, when they graduate, they know whatever that they want to apply, okay, must be restricted to rules and regulation. Even for simple project, for example, nowadays, I think not only graduate student, but everyone can do the IoT project, right? So for that IoT project, yes, you can implement, but for this case, okay, we emphasize on the rules and regulation. For example, they want to use certain frequency spectrum. They need to take a look on the spectrum regulation in Malaysia. What are the frequency that they can use freely, or what if they need license, maybe they can apply for it. Okay, so this is another element that to me is important, and it can be an issue if the students are not aware. All right. So the second issue is on the accreditation itself. When we presenting our documentation, normally this is the common issue happen. Okay, they take a look on the report, and the examiners normally will have query on the student grades that they get, okay, from the assessment versus the quality of the project. Okay, so why this thing happen? Why this thing happen? Okay, sometimes the examiner says that, okay, for example, this one they get F, F grade for example, but the quality shouldn't be that. Maybe for this student get A, but the quality maybe should be A plus, should be better than this. Okay, so why this thing happen? Right? So it is very good to have this accreditation, because during this accreditation, we ourselves as organization, as an institution, we can reflect. Do we successfully manage the assessment process? Because the good assessment process, it can produce the outcome. For this case, the grades must be comparable with the quality of the project. Okay. Again, we need to understand that the assessment is to increase the quality. Okay. Not to penalty anyone, but to increase the quality. Okay. That is the main objective of this accreditation. All right. So in order to control that parameter of the student quality versus the student report quality versus the grades, okay, what we do in this faculty, okay, as for the Capstone Project Committee, we are trying our best to have an effective assessment rubrics. So we put the word effective here, okay, and the rubrics able to differentiate student grades. So I think there are two keywords that is important. The first one is effective, okay, the second is the goal that can differentiate the student grades. So effective means the assessment itself must not be a burden to the staff, to the supervisors, to the panels, to give marks. Because if we have a very high complexity of assessment rubric, of course, it will take our time. Right? So I believe similar situation either in UTHM, although in Sudirman University as well, we are academicians are very hectic with our task to do research, to do these academic matters, and to do writing for our publication and so on. So time is very crucial. Okay, that is why I am highlighting this word effective. So the Capstone Project Committee, we are trying our best. Okay, hopefully we can get feedback from our staff, faculty members to give feedback to further improve, so that we can have a good rubrics. Effective means they can have short time. However, we are able to differentiate the student grades. Okay, so when they do the assessment, okay, the student A should get A, the student B should get B, and so on. And the second thing, from my experience and from our experience, this issue of student grade versus quality of report also contribute by the supervisor and panel also. Okay, sometimes the supervisor and panel, that's why I mentioned just now, we have lack of time. Okay, so very minimal, but this thing happen. Okay, very minimal. Sometimes they lack of integrity in giving assessment mark. For example, in the rubric, it is clearly says that, for example, I give the quantity-based measurement for the reference. It said that in order to get 5 marks, the references must be good references, and the number should be 15 at least. Okay. However, the supervisor maybe don't have time, so they just take a look. Okay, even though the student give 5 references, good references, only 5, they give the full mark. Okay, at the end when we sum up the mark, okay, so the report does not fit quality that we requested. Right. So the second issue is the adequate facilities that we need, okay, for the Capstone project. So why we need these facilities? Of course, we give the student a question or design team so that they can design the project according to the theme that we give, right? So what are the type of the facilities? The first one is the group discussion, I would say room, and nowadays we are in COVID-19 pandemic, we use online platform. So I think this one, okay, it is not a big issue. because if we don't have a physical room, okay, we can have our online platform. And Alhamdulillah, last semester we have conduct our capstone project via online platform, so they can use online platform that they prefer for their group discussion. For our online teaching, we have our formal and official online platform, which is, we call it as Otter. But for the group discussion, they are using many types, such as they are using WhatsApp, they are using Telegram, okay, they are also using Google Meet, Zoom meeting, and many more. So this is not an issue anymore. All right. So another facilities that we think that might be an issue is when we have a problem of understanding phase, problem understanding phase. So in this phase, in order to come up with a problem statement, good problem statement, because it is quite different with final year project, it is involved a society, economic, technological, and other factors that must be considered in this kind of project. Okay, the student need to go out and do the site survey. Okay, so what are the issues happen here? Sometimes we have the issues of transportation and communication facility. And for the last semester, we are restricted with the COVID-19 pandemic, so we have many rules for the movement. Okay, so some students, okay, we gave them a team that related with community. Okay, so it is easier for them to do the interview session and to do survey. Survey, mostly they are using online survey using Google Form, but for the interview session, to know better on the specific problem that they want to solve for the project, okay, they can do it online or they can do it verbally. All right, so I will highlight on the transportation and the communication facility. So the communication facility, for example, the one they want to interview don't have the internet access, so they have to go there. All right, and these are the things issue here: the engineering design phase, engineering testing, and the packaging phase. Okay, this one require tools and laboratory. And sometimes our laboratory has limitation in terms of equipment. So here, what we need to do is we need to control. We need to control the outcome of the project, the expectation by the supervisor. All right. So this is what I said just now. Okay. The issue is the first, growth of student versus available facilities. For example, in FKEE UTHM, okay, we have certain number of laboratories that can be used for certain number of students. So over time, okay, if we have increasing number of students, of course we will have issues with these facilities. And the second issue is on the facilities versus quality of project. Okay. So again, okay, about this quality of project, normally it happen with the expectation of the supervisor or expectation by the student itself. Okay, sometimes we have group of students that are very ambitious. They plan to do that project, okay, that must be accomplished up to the packaging, up to the packaging and a very good packaging. Okay, if we have the facilities, then it should be no problem. But if we don't have the facilities, then it can be an issue. So here, the role of supervisors are very important in understanding the scope of the capstone project and try to moderate the expectation of the project outcome so that it is suit with the available facilities that we have in the faculty. All right, now move to the third issue, which is the financial assistance. Okay, so basically for the university project, okay, particularly for the capstone project, the fund can come from these 4 sources. The first one is industry. Okay, some supervisors they have very good reputation. They got industrial project. And that industrial project, okay, the sub component of the project is implemented through this capstone project. Okay, so Alhamdulillah, the student is very lucky because they can get funded from that industrial project. Okay, or maybe in a very good universities, for example, in MIT University, of course, they are well-known university. So they have trust from various big name industry. They got sponsors from that industry. For example, Boeing sponsors their Capstone project. So I hope that one day maybe UTHM and Sudirman University can go up to that level so that we can be funded. The student project can be funded. So we must understand that when the industry funded the project, it means in terms of the outcome itself, it must be good project outcome and can be benefited by many people and the community. Right, and the second source might come from the university or faculty fund. Okay, some university they have charged the student in their fees during the registration, so that allocation can be used for final year project as well as for the capstone project. So the student have no issue in using funding to implement their project. This one is for the case of they want to implement a hardware project. They can use the money. However, for my experience in my former university, okay, the faculty fund is used to support the capstone project. So at that time, the faculty has a very good amount of funding. Firstly, give the students at that time, each project can get 500 ringgit Malaysia for one project. So that is an example of the faculty fund. Okay, and the third source might come from project supervisor research grant. Okay. Sorry, we have internet problem. So can we continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, yes.
All right, okay. So I just continue my third point just now. The source of fund might come from the project supervisor student grant, project supervisor research grant. So alhamdulillah, student will be lucky if the supervisor has grant, and the supervisor themselves are lucky to have the student to do the project for them. Okay, and the last one is the student pocket money. Okay, this one, I think this one we better avoid this because student they also have responsibility for themselves. So they need to use their own pocket money. I think this one is not a very good implementation of capstone. All right. So if we have no funding, okay, what are the options that we have? We can produce the project that use low cost product. Okay, it means we need to be creative using something that we have in laboratory or something that we have in the, easily can be we get from the store with low cost, or maybe we can design a software based product. Okay, so there might be a conflict between supervisors. Some of them might say that the product or project conducted in capstone must be tangible, mesti boleh dipegang, but it is not necessarily. Okay, the project nowadays we are using gadget. We have many products, engineering product that is software based. Okay, for example, my group team member, okay, they are very good in programming. They producing whatever that I share yang about this project is not from the capstone, but our group research team, they are producing apps related with community project using their engineering programming skills. So that one also can be considered as capstone project. All right, and now the last issue, which is the student teamwork. Okay, so this issue with the teamwork is a normal issue. Okay, normal issue occur because of what? Because the first thing is Okay, as for our faculty, we set their team members. We are the one who set their team members. Why we set their team members? Because we want to prepare them for the real environment in industry later on. Okay, when we are working, we are not normally we don't have opportunity to choose our team member. We have to make friends. We have to adjust our personality to work with other people. So these are the medium that we train our students. We set them, okay, with their group members. So what happened was, okay, in past, member, each group member, some of them have to implement the project up to the packaging. Okay, but some members, they think the duration is not enough. Then they want to implement up to the simulation work. Okay, you can see that very huge different goals level there. Up to the packaging hardware, another one only all. Okay, we accept all. I mean, in terms of the outcome, as long as it fulfills the criteria in the rubrics. Okay, and the second issue in the team working is poor communication. Okay, I think this one is not only happen to the student, but happen to us as well. As a human, we have various personality. Okay, sometimes we have different type of communication language that we normally use, and sometimes other people hardly to understand what we are saying. Poor communication. Okay, and the third, which is quite norm, unequal contribution. Sometimes we have a very good student, very energetic, they want to contribute, and sometimes we have students that very inactive. They always reserve and they don't want to contribute to the work. And also for the worst case, we have silent group member. Contact tak dapat, WhatsApp pun tak reply. Okay, so how we want to manage this kind of situation of the silent group member? Alright, so what we can control is, for the Capstone Project Committee in the faculty, okay, we need to carefully measure the student commitment and give them an equal student grade, a fair student grade. So if the student is not contribute well in the project, so we should punish them with a lower grade compared to the other team member. Okay, so how to solve this? The first solution that I think it is a very good, because me as a teacher, okay, I always want to give the best grade to my student. That what I always say to the student. When they register, I always say that, okay, I want to give everyone A. But something happened, okay, in the process of the teaching and learning, they do not fit the quality to get A, then they get other grades. So in this kind of situation, for the student teamwork issue, okay, supervisor is the best moderator that can control this. Because we have weekly meeting, okay, every week we have meeting with supervisor. They can be moderator. For example, if they look that some student, okay, have very lack of contribution, so for that week, in the meeting, they can arrange the task to be assigned to that student. All right, but this one is not cannot be solved verbally. For the accreditation, we need to have this in a proper documentation. That's why we have minutes of meeting. Or for this semester, starting from last semester, we have this minutes meeting. We name it as weekly progress report. So what we have in this weekly progress report, okay, the students have to equally distribute, okay, the tasks and state the task in the report. So we are not giving the task verbally, but they have to state it and report it, the outcome in the weekly report. I believe Dr. T will share about this in the second part, okay, how we conduct this weekly progress report, okay, assessment. All right. And we also have a peer assessment, okay. where in this peer assessment, from our experience, okay, several semesters that we have conducted this peer assessment, students have very good integrity. They appreciate their team member that contributes to the project, and they also penalty their team members that are not contribute to the project. So with the marks that we have allocated for the peer review, we have 2 times peer review in week 5 and week 10. Okay, so having these 2 peer reviews, we can take a look at in terms of grades. If the students are not contributing to the project, they can have 2 grades lower than their team member. All right, so I think that's all for my sharing about these issues and challenges of the capstone, okay, that we have through our experience. So I give back this session to you, Dr. Hari.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hafizah. I think it's an interesting presentation, and yeah, I have some questions in my mind, but maybe I will keep that later after the presentation from Dr. T. So maybe now we will continue to the presentation of Dr. T. So first, I will read. I will introduce Dr. T briefly. So our second speaker is Professor Madya and Senior Dr. T. Kian. So he's also a professor at the Fakulti Kejuruteraan Elektrik dan Elektronik at UTHM Malaysia, and his research interest is industrial automation system, and then mechatronic system in gate monitoring, mechatronic system in rehabilitation, and also mechatronic system in exoskeleton. So I think we also have some colleagues here at Unsoed who is also has the same research interest. So Dr. T, are you ready to give your presentation?
Yeah, thank you. I'm ready. Yes.
Okay, sure. The time is yours, please.
Okay, I'll share my screen. There are a number of screens, so I'll share. So the first would be the slide, right? Let's see. So this one. Okay, this one. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
I'm trying to make it big, right? Hold on. Can't see it actually. Okay, I hope you can see the screen, right? So thank you very much for inviting us to speak, right? So good morning to Dean Prof. Suroso and the moderator, Dr. Hari. So today we are going to share this implementation of IDP in FKEE. Right? Yes, can we? Do you hear it, right? Yes. Yes. So I hope you can see the screen, right? We have thank you also coordinator from UTHM, Dr. Jais, Lias, and Dr. Wayu and team for bridging between the universities, UTHM with Universitas Jenderal Sudirman for the sharing, right? And it is our pleasure, right? Very pleasure to share the implementation of IDP, Capstone Project, right? We call it Capstone Project with everybody. So we are in the process of continuous improvement, right? We never say that we are the best model, right? We are never say that, but we are trying to do it accordingly, and then according to the EAC manual, right? Because every year, for every period of time, we are going to be accredited soon, right? So so far the accreditations we received, right? We have a positive feedback from EAC during the accreditation last 2 years. We're going to have a second interim check, right? Recently, somewhere next year, I hope. And this is the iteration of continuous quality improvement, right? Because the EAC come and check and feedback, we need to improve according to the comment. So far, we are trying to interpret as much as possible, right? And to meet the requirement. So the first criteria, right? I hope that you can see the word, right? Can you see the word? Right. The first, hello?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, I'm going to change the screen time to time because there are a number of screen, right, that I'm going to show you. So I'm sharing my screen actually. I'm not sharing the slide, I'm sharing my screen. So the first will be the mapping, right? The mapping of COO, which is we need to answer, right? This is very important, right? Answer to EAC, the need for accreditation, right? So Capstone Projects is being officially stated, right? Stated in the manual, right? We need to meet the criteria, right? So we need to do this mapping, right? And this mapping is part of the OBE model, right? Object-based, right? Outcome-based education, OBE, right? So this is the model that we have been used in Malaysia, right? In EAC, it has been implemented in bachelor degree engineering and bachelor degree technologies and even technicians, right? So we are using the same model, OBE, right? And then next, right, from the design, right, from the requirement, we proceed to the design of assessment accordingly, right? We need to meet the requirement, right? Dr. Hafizah say something, right? I'm going to show you later on, right? The mapping, okay? And the rubric, right? Later on, the rubric. So in general, we from the design, the very big picture requirement, right? We start to break it down, right? So at the design of the Capstone project, right? So it is the system that we design, and we are going to implement it. So it's not me, it's not just Hafizah, it's a teamwork, right? It's a teamwork, right? It's a teamwork that we present to the faculty, and the faculty agreed to the proposal and the model, and we proceed, right? And it's a team of committees and supervisors, SV, right? It's all it's not a team. It's never me or Dr. Hafizah. No, it's not two men. It's not one man. So I hope that the model getting to the next man who is going to hold the position of Capstone Project committees, right? And it will be continuous. So the design has been presented. From the design, we break it into a number of activities, right? So I like you to form that we have a design, right? And the design is in the early stage, right? We form the activity list, right? From the activity list, I will show you later on what are the activities, right? So there are 5 or 6 activities, and it start to break it into the mapping. What are the assessment later on, right? We're going to see that. And then to meet the requirement for these lectures, what I call syllabus, right? And Capstone Project, right? Capstone Project is a course, right? In the definition in our program, it is a course, right? It is a course that we have a series of lectures, right? And we are planning these lectures so that the student has the awareness about what is projects, right? What is project and how to do projects, the idea, and towards technopreneur, right? The idea is toward technopreneur. How to train the student have a thought, right? Have a thought that this is the way that we need to do collaborations, right, in the team, and work together so that eventually you are able to venture, right? To venture as a technopreneur, so that you make money, you help the community, and you solve problem by the knowledge that you have. So how to bridge this gap? So we have planned a series of lecture series so that we bring out this awareness, right? And I will show you later on the lecture series that we plan. And we have one important event, right? Most of the time we plan it on week 12, week 13, almost at the end of the semester. We call it roadshow, right? Roadshow is a pameran, right? Exhibition. At the moment we do it online, right? We do it online. Previously we do it something like a festival, right? In a day, right? A roadshow, right? Later on, right? I'll show you what is the roadshow. The roadshow that the student need to present, right? One thing is to present their prototype. I wouldn't say products. It's a prototype. It's a very early stage of the products. They show the idea, right? They show the idea. They show the concept. They show. They are polishing, right? They are polishing the student. We need to give chance to the student, right? To polish the skill presentation and talk and defending, right? Defending their ideas. And the supervisor is actually helping them, right? And in this roadshow, we have a panel, right? We have a judge, right? We have judge. We invite internal judge, invite external judge from industry. And they give comment, they give marks, and we give some gift eventually and certificate, right? So this is a roadshow that we plan, right? For the ease of communication, right? You can see the design, right? When we break it down, right? One of the issue is communication, right? There are so many people coming in, right? The student, supervisors, right? And we have coordinator, we have the committees. Right? To ease the communication from the committees and reminder, right? From time to time. It is our job to remind the student, the SV, and even the faculty, right? That we have the schedule to do, right? Reminder, something like we are a parent, right? We remind our kids, oh, now this is time to do, right? It's a reminder. So we have a platform. Where platform officially we have author, right? I'll show you later on author. And officially we have a platform which is a portal, right? We create a portal under UTHM server, right? I'll show you later on. And that portal, we publish this information, right? Information on the grouping, on the design, and the briefing. Every semester we have briefing, announcements, right? Templates, yes, template. We have number of template, right? That we share, right? You can see it, right? It's only for student and it's not open for public anyway, right? Author and portal is not open for public. It's only for student and supervisors and the committees, right? And coordinator, of course, right? Coordinators, right? And online social media, right, is a platform that we use, right? That we encourage students, right, and the SV to do communication over the media, right? Especially, this is very helpful, especially at the moment of pandemic. We cannot meet, right? So far has been last 12 months or even nearly 15 months, right? We are depending on social media, right? The student are meeting the supervisors, presenting, right? Using social media. Any social media, WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, whatever, Google Classroom, right? And Moodle, right? They could use it, right? This is for discussion and sharing, right? Even Mendeley, Mendeley for references, yes, you can use it, right? And one of the tools that we use it heavily will be YouTube. We ask the student to submit video, right? Especially on the roadshow, right? That we are going to judge, right? Present. When the student present their prototype, right, in the form of video in 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, right? They need to compile the presentation, right? And then we put it on YouTube, right? On YouTube, and this YouTube is only for student and committee and the panel. It's not open for public so far. You cannot search it to the public domain, right? You cannot do it. So I'll show you later on, and we use it. One of the reasons that is that the panel could access this YouTube by invitation, and then another reason is that we are running out of this storage, right? YouTube, right? Remember these videos, right? They take storage space. It's a challenge, right? So far we meet a number of challenges that if we want to put the storage into UTHM server, headache is a headache, right? Imagine we have every year we have nearly 30 to 50, right? 30 to 50 groups, right, of videos. Right? Every video takes around 100 megs, right? There's a lot of space, right? And it's accumulating. So we have a constraint, right? Resources on storage. This is a challenge, right? We need to admit it. So we make use of YouTube, right? YouTube as presentations, right? And as well as this judging and the presentation as storage as well. So I will show you the video and the storage on YouTube, right? Of course, Google Drive, right? Free, right? Free, right? We use free resources on Google Drive. UTHM resources on storage is limited, right? Very limited, right? We can't use a lot. Then we have a number of templates. I will show you later on, all these things later on. The template, right? The template that we design for assessment, that we meet to the COO PO mapping. We answer to EAC, right? So this is the motivation. We answer EAC. So we need to meet the criteria, right? That is the first motivation that we need to meet, right? Secondly, we have a report, a formal report in book chapter. And we have the template, something similar, the template that you send to a journal, right? We have a template. So the student is going to answer each column. Right, I'll show you later on. So we have the assessment, right? And this assessment meet to the design, right? So you see the design of this IDP, right? IDP, or we call Capstone Project, right? The first principle will be that we meet the requirement, right? There's nothing wrong about this, right? Because this is requirement. And later on, we define it into activities, the design or the mapping, and we start to break it down, right, into a number of activities, right? I'll show you the implementation later on, right? Let's see. I'm showing you this. Right. Can you see the slide?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, right? Some has been presented by Dr. Hafizah. I just want to skip, right? This is one of the very important statement, right, by EAC manual, right? EAC manual say that we need to have this IDP project, that we need to have this complex engineering problem and complex activities, right? And this complex, we need to define this, right? CPS and CEA, right? We have included this statement in assessment, right? And then let's say there's another thing that involved in multi principle, right? Multi-principle and multi-consideration. That means the project must be real. The student need to think about a way that we need to meet multiple requirements such as social, economic, political, right? It's not just technical. Oh, I'm good at IoT, I just do IoT, and then I ignore about the need of the society. I ignore the need of this economy. No, right? We wanted the student justified. The word is to justify, to meet the requirement of engineering solution, right? The engineering solution is for human. It's for human to meet the requirement, right? To meet the requirement, the complexity of the situation, right? So we need to identify how complex it is. Complex, eh? So, and we need to define this, right? So we ask the student to do this and make a statement, right? And this statement are very important, right? Dr. Hafizah said it just now, right? We have this template to justify. So, of course, the implementation, we have come up with the guideline, right? We have come up with a guideline. What are the role play of each party, right? The role play is sometimes a legal statement, right? Role play, right? So, what is the role play of Jawatan Kuasa, the committee of Capstone, right? Right, myself, Dr. Hafizah, and our team. What are the role play and the role play of the supervisor and the role play of the students, right? and the rubric or panel. We define it, right, in a guideline, right? But from time to time, right, we need to improve, right, the statement, right, that we put it into the guideline, so that everybody at least, right, they have some knowledge about what actually they need to do, right? At least they have some knowledge, right? And because we are doing this project, right, to every time we meet around nearly 200 students, supervisor in a team, right? Supervisor around 20 to 30 supervisor, could be more, right? It depends, right? So it's a system, right? It is a system that we implemented on the number of participants is around nearly 200 to 300 persons, right? We cannot afford to change our mind from, okay, day one I want this, day two I want this. No, we cannot afford to do that. Once we decide it, right, we need to have a regulation and say we do it now and this way. So we are very reluctant to change it overnight, very reluctant. And I don't like the idea that we change it. Okay, I think this is better, we do it tomorrow. No, don't do that. I'll prefer that we discuss first. Probably we do it next semester. But that would be a better way, right? This is my idea, right? So role play and definition, right? So, so this is the idea, right? And secondly, from the Capstone Project point of view, right, we encourage this the supervisor, right? We encourage the supervisor and the student, right? They are able to sit down and discuss accordingly the topic that is related to Capstone, right? we propose. Right? We never insist they need to do this, right? We propose and encourage the student to do a project related to our team. The team that we propose so far, we have proposed IoT project, right? IoT project related to smart traffic, smart agriculture, smart health, right? But we never stop the supervisors to propose a new topics which is not within the propose in the thema in the team, right? We never stop it, right? Because some supervisor might have some grant, right? Might have some idea they want to do. As long they are able to come out and meet the requirement, right? Requirement of Capstone, right? Requirement of Capstone, complex engineering solution. They are able to come up with that and meet the criteria of assessment. It is okay, right? So far, most supervisor and student, right? They pilih, right? They select this team, right? They select, right? But a few propose that they have their own interests in other topics. We never stop it. Just go ahead, right? And then we collect all the topics for the committee, right? And under the help of this coordinator, we will collect all the topics, right? I'll show you the program book later on, all the topic and the synopsis of the project, right? So we come up in the books and we present it, right? Eventually, every semester we have a book, program book under the roadshow, right? Okay, so team, thema, right? So the team, right? The team that we present here is actually an open-ended scenario. We never specific what you need to do, right? Okay, the descriptions, the scenario that we give in a team, right, proposed by the committee is a scenario, right? Scenario, right? So the supervisor is able to propose any specific title, right, under the team. Now we have number of titles, right? You'll see in the program books later on, right? Interesting, right? So this is something I want to share with you. Right? This is the mapping from the design specific, right? From the design point of view, right, of the IDP or Capstone project, right? So we have this design accordingly, right, under the activities, right? Okay. So this is the activities, right? And what are the evaluator, right? We have activity on meeting, right? Because Capstone, one of the criteria is team working. Teamworking, right? Teamworking, the collaboration between the team members and the supervisor, right, is very important, right? So we don't want the student to just, okay, I have a project, and then I meet you in the first week, and then on the 12th week I meet you second time. That's it. No, we don't want that to be happen, and we do not know if the student or the group is actually doing the project, or they employ what they call import any external player to do the project, right? We don't want that to be happen, right? So we expect supervisor, right, is actually monitoring continuously the progress from the meeting attendance, right? That on a weekly and continuous assessment, right? So these are the continuous assessment, right? Continuous assessment, week attendance, weekly progress, peer review, right? All these are weekly and continuous assessment, right? This is part of it, right? Then we have this report, right? IDP proposal on the week 4 or week 5, right? And then we have report and then product evaluation, right? And then product evaluation, we put it into roadshow, right? Where the panel, we invite internal panel and external panel to judge, right? So these are the breakdown, right? These are the breakdown of mapping, right? That we map into requirement of EAC, right? So I wouldn't go to detail what to map to, right? The COO, POO mapping, right? And CEP, right? CEP, that is the complex engineering, what they call complex engineering solution, right? CEP, right? So we want to meet if either one of the solution meets complex engineering proposal, right? Complexity, right? So we map. So this is very important, right? We present this proposal, the mapping of this proposal in the faculty, right? In the faculty, and the faculty agreed, then we proceed. Right, and the idea is that we have the model and the assessment that meets to EAC and the faculty. You know, in the end, right? In the end, my boss, right? My boss, the Timbaran Dekan, right? And the Dekan need to answer EAC eventually. So we are going to work in the team, in the faculty, right? Okay, and then. So this is the mapping as well, right? In the form that we meet the criteria for EAC, right? The first design, right? So the design, right, in the way that we view that the panel actually contributes, right, 30%, right? Peer review, that means the student is actually assessing to each other, right? We encourage students to review each other. We do it on week 5 and week 10, week 5 and week 10, so that the member 1 will assess member 2 and 3 and 4, right? The assessment, online, we do it online. It's blinded, right? It's blinded. The student cannot see the marks, right? And it's good, right? It's good. Some students sleep. Some students are parasite. Some students are slow, right? Slow, right? But we want to see this motivation, right? Motivation that the student berani and could remind the members, right? Remind the member or help the member. It's not just ignore it. Try to keep it in harmony. So we encourage the student to awake the membership. Hello, wake up, don't sleep, work together. Right? We want that, right? We don't want the student to just keep quiet. Right? Of course, the supervisor, right? The contribution of supervisor contribute to 60%, right, of the assessment. So supervisor is very important, right? Supervisor give marks. And these are the idea, right? So we have a number of activities, right? And I'll show you the activity list later on, right? And the platform that we have, right? I'm going to show you the platform that we have is only for students and supervisor, right? And committee, of course, right? Later I'll show you the website and all of them, right? Previously, we have some, before MCO, right? Before MCO, the pandemic, right? We have some activities, right? We visit the factory, we bring the student, not all, right? Only a few, right? A few of the students, we do industrial visit, right? Right? So I try to skip all this detail. I'll show you right, the marks, right? The marks, right? Okay. Okay. Can you see this PDF?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so this is the design, right? We plan it in the early stage of the semester, very early, before the semester already start. We already plan it, right? We never plan it in the semester. We plan it before we start the semester, right? So right now we have a number of cohort, right? They mean different right, cohort, right? EDP, IDP, IDP2, right? Now, eventually we are going to do only IDP, right? Cohort means the registered course, right? So we plan every week, right? Week 1 to until week 14, right? This is the idea, right? What to do, right? And all the activity are related to the master plan that we have, right? So we ask for proposal, right? We ask for proposal on week 5, right? And then we ask for peer review on week 5, right? Peer review, week 5, right? Peer review. And we ask for panel recruitment, right? Panel, we invite panel on week 8, right? This is the activity by committee, right? We will invite panels, right? And we ask for peer review number 2 at week 10, for example, right? And then we ask for submission of videos, right? Submission of video to the student, right? On week 11, right? They need to submit the videos, right? On week 12, we have the roadshow, right? Where the roadshow, we have a committee, the panels, right, to organize the information all together, and we put it on YouTube, right? YouTube. I'll show you later. YouTube. And then we do remind as well, right? From time to time, right? The committee will remind the supervisor, student, what to do, and every week. And we share this. We share this activity list to the supervisor, student, right? We never hide it, right? And we work together accordingly. We try to do according to the plan, right? And every week, right? And eventually, we have this final report, right? Final report, and we will do assessment later on all together, right? This is general idea, right? The plan help, right? This plan, the activity plans is actually helping the committee to do, what to do every week, what to remind, and whom to remind, and we agreed, right? We agreed so that the committee, is a team, right? The committee work together. We assign who to do this, right? And then we have a lecture series, right? Lecture series. We invite for this sem, right? For this semester, we have a lecture series which we have 12 lecture series, right? We invite Dr. Azun, right? Dr. Azun from India, right? From India, and Dr. Azun from India, he graduated from Singapore, right? And he is now in India. He's a technopreneur. Right? He's a technopreneur. He run a company actually, right? He also deliver short courses, workshop, and speech, right? We invite Dr. Azun to deliver lecture series, and he agreed, right, for this sem. Previously, we do it on invitation on between amongst our lecturers and as well as other faculties. We did it, right? Other faculties such as computing, right? Software engineering, right? We invite them to give speech, right? Every week, every Thursday actually, yeah? Every Thursday afternoon. So now we are in week 3. Huh? Now we are in week 3. We already give one lecture before, and of course the first will be delivered by me and committees, right? About the briefing, right? What to do to the student, right? And all the meeting so far we did it online, right? We did it online on Zoom, right? And Zoom account, right? So we are accommodate students up to nearly 200, right? I believe in Indonesia, your group of students could be more than us, right? Easily more than 200, right? And so far we have nearly 200 students. Right? We are breaking it into group of 4 or 5, right? Okay. And we avoid holidays, right? Next week will be a Deepavali holiday, so there's no talk, right? Okay, so these topics are very interesting, right? And these topics are related to project management, the ideology of projects, right? The what they call the use of technologies to implement and develop projects, right? And we also try to link, right? Try to link the idea of business setup, right? So how to actually use the knowledge and try to spin off, right? And we try to deliver this idea to students, right? How to spin off, how to look for venture money and probably what they call angel fund, probably angel fund, kickstart, right? There are some kickstart business model, right? So we actually try to help, right? And this lecture series, we invite researchers. We open for researcher to join, right? Just to listen, right? I'm interested as well. I'm the host, right? I'm the host for this lecture series, right? So how to do presentation, right? There are a number of generic skill that soft skill and generic skill that is needed, right? As a technopreneur, right? Technopreneur. Technopreneur, as a technopreneur, we try to impart this idea, right, to the student, right? Pitching, right, for example, right? So I'd like to show you another thing, right, on the EAC, right? Can you see the EAC manual, right? It's under you can find it in online, Google it, right? This is the manual that is become our main reference, right? It is updated every 1 year or 2 years, right? Now the most recent will be 2020, right? So under the Board of Engineering, right? Just a bit of awareness, right? This information, right? Board of Engineer Malaysia, we call it BEM, right? Board of Engineer Malaysia is the official board, right? Owned by the government, and all the professional engineer, including myself, I'm a professional engineers, right? Registered under Board of Engineer. So and all courses of engineering, right? Bachelor degree, right? We refer to bachelor degree now. We need to meet this requirement, right? And BEM, Board of Engineer, has this engineering accreditation department under EAD, Engineering Accreditation Department, under Board of Engineer. They come out of these accreditation procedures and requirement, right? And this is very important, right? This is very important so that the course is accredited and recognized worldwide. So Malaysia is part of this part of a number of accord, right? Washington Accord, Dublin Accord, and this Sydney Accord, right? So we join in this accord internationally. So, and from time to time, the international panel will overview the standard, right? Overview the standard under this international society, right? I believe Indonesia is started to join in, right? I'm not too sure about the status, right? But if Indonesia engineering courses started joining this international accreditation process, right? And all the Indonesian program, right? Either bachelor degree, technologist or technicians degree, right? Diploma or technician degree, they might undergo this standard, right? Standard. So far, Malaysia joined in this standard, right? Under EAC. Under EAC, Engineering Accreditation Counter. So this is for engineering bachelor degree, right? Okay, so this is the main manual, right? And it's very important. This is the standard that we meet, right? So I just want to show you, right? And okay, can I? Can you see the videos? This YouTube. Can you see the YouTube?
Yes.
So this is the YouTube that is owned by IDP. IDP. We create a Gmail under this one. So this is the free account under YouTube. We do it. So we try to recently last semester we post it, right? We post it on YouTube and organize it as a list, as a playlist, right? So under it we have number of YouTube lists, right? We organize it, right? So for example, we have this right? So these are the example, right? These are the example that we actually try to put the student presentation online. But just because we are trying to weigh that how to present it, right? And this is the dilemma between the storage, right? The storage, the capacity of the storage in UTHM. So eventually we swap to YouTube, right? I think YouTube could accommodate all these things, right? And it's good, right? We put it only for private section, right? We never publish it on. Probably I'm not too sure if you can find it on YouTube or not, but we have set it as a private, so only by invitation. And then we have this portal, right? Can you see the portal?
Yes.
Yes, right. From the portal we design under UTHM, right? It's under the university server, right? UTHM. So time to time we update the information, right? So this week, right? This afternoon, 2 p.m., right? 2 p.m. we have another session on IDP Talks, right? IDP Talks or Capstone Talks Series 2, right? Problem identification and analysis by Dr. Azon, right? And that is through Zoom, right? We are getting through Zoom, right? And then in this portal, we share a number of information, right? Such as group, right? We did share a group, right? So the group member, for example, the group member are being selected, right? And groups and IDP, right? IDP, we have many of them, right? So for IDP, we have 172 students this semester. EDP, we have 58, right? And IDP 2, we have 3, right? So in total, we have nearly 100, nearly 200, 180 something, right? Student, right, for this semester, right? So the group member, for example, right, we for ease of work, right, we do not encourage the student to change their group. Once they have been fixed, right? Once they have been fixed in the group, we put a tag. We put a tag which is say section 1, group 1. Then we put a tag, right? And member 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And we fix it, right? Everybody have a tag. So the supervisor has been selected, right? We recruit supervisors from our staff, right? We put it on this WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp, right? And then we recruit the volunteer, right? We never force anyone to be a supervisor. And then we ask volunteer from our colleagues, right, to be a SV. And we through the faculty, right? Through the faculty, we issue these appointment letters, right? Appointment letters so that each supervisor will receive an appointment letter to monitor and to guide the students, right? So appointment letter, very formal official appointment letters, right? So we have group, right? For example, this group, right? Then we have also showing this guideline, right? The guideline, right? For example, IDP2 as for student and supervisor, right? Guideline. We have guideline for panel as well, right? In the roadshow, right? In the roadshow, right? For example, the guideline for this supervisor, right? So what to do? What are the main job, right, to do, right? From time to time, we try to update, right? But we never try to update overnight, right? For this semester, we have this guideline and it's already updated. So for any further information that the supervisor would like to know further, or queries, we encourage the supervisors or students, right, to approach the committees, right? So that we try to solve case by case, right? Case by case. So guideline, right? Then we have slide, right? Slide. Previously, we have number of slide on this what they call lecture series. We have done some lecture series on data mining, how to make a videos, right? The secret of winning a Go award, right? IoT competitive advantage and its outcome values, right? So these are the lecture series we've done it before, right? Previous semester, right? We've done it, and we have design sheet, right? Design sheet, which is about the thema, the theme, right? Template. One of the very important template would be something like a proposal and report, right? For example, the report, right? The report. Right. Can you see the template?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. But it's under this the form of book chapter, right? For example, right, we give a template, and then we ask the student to fill in all these introduction, step analysis, engineering testing, and others, NABC, right? NABC, needs, approach, benefit, and competition, right? NABC analysis, and we also require the student to answer this complex problem solving, right? And how complex is the system is, right? We ask the student to justify, and then the content of the works, right? Say, for example, this is about soil sensor, and then we ask the student to come up, right? And one of the criteria that we require the student to do is the bill of material, the money they spend on each item, right? The bill of materials, right? On what they spend, right? And what are the cost, total money they spend. So we want the student to have this financial concept, right? the money that they spend, right? For this thing. And of course, CPS, right? This is CPS, problem solving, right? Complex problem solving. They need to justify, right? Complex problem solving. Eventually, we ask the student to do references, right? References. So these are the template, right? So we try to help the students so that they are being guided. They are being guided in the way they need to think. They need to justify according to the guideline. So the template provide a guideline for the student, right? They are not trying to do it free way, right? It's very dangerous, right? And very difficult to do assessment, right? Okay, so we want the student to do accordingly, but the content is free, right? The content could be anything, innovations, products, right? It could be anything, right? And then we have this, of course, there are not others template, right? So we're back to the portal. We have other template on NABC, STEEPS, right? And biomaterial, right? We request the student to do this analysis, right? And assessment form, right? I'd like to show you a number of assessment form, right? For example, IDP, right? So this assessment form we design, and eventually we actually convert this design. We present this assessment in the faculty, right? And the faculty agreed that we proceed, right? We proceed the assessment, and we convert it into Google form. Right? We convert, once we have the design, we convert into a Google form. And for example, right? For example, this is meeting attendance, right? In the criteria for meeting attendance, we ask the student to do assessment, right? Attendance, right? And on 10 weeks, at least 10 weeks out of 14, that they need to meet the supervisor. And every student need to do the report by turns, right? By turns, so member 1, member 2, and member 3. What are the date that they meet, right? They meet attendance, right? And they need to, there are some rubric, right? And this rubric is going to assess the student, right? Either in terms of weightage, right? 0 to 5. 0 is mean never attend, right? Okay. So on every week basis, right? Eventually we come up with the total marks, right? Total marks. And then, for example, the product evaluation, right? Product evaluation, right? Product evaluation, we have some weightage, right? We have some weightage, right? Can you see this, the PDF?
Yes, yes.
Right. Right. So there are some detail, right? I'd like to show you. Right. Right. So these are the products evaluation form, right? So we convert this form into Google form, right? Later on, right? So we never ask the student to fill in this form. Right? We convert it into Google form. So we send this product evaluation form to panel. Invited panel from industry and also from faculty, internal panel, right? So they fill in and we do averaging. Averaging, that means if we have two panels, panel from industry, panel from internal, so both of them do assessment on the same team. The marks will be averaged, right? Eventually, we do calculate later on. So every member for the group and titles. And some interesting is the rubric and assessment and rubric, right? So these are the rubric, right? The assessment that we're going to meet to this COO POO meeting mapping, right? So eventually we break it into a number of mapping, right? It's not just 10 marks, 100%, 50% is a pass. It's not like this, right? We need to process it to meet another form, right? Where we actually remap it accordingly to this COO POO criteria, right? In a way that meets EAC criteria, right? EAC criteria. So we never do 80% is A, right? 50% is a B plus, for example. We never do that, right? But we need to remap it into all these criteria, right? Eventually, right? So these are the score, and the rubric is shown here, right? The rubric is shown here, right? So each criteria, right? For example, each criteria we have rubric, right? So why good? Why not good? Why poor? So there's a statement, right? And this statement is for the panel to remarks what are the marks that they need to put in, right? Right. So these are the guidelines. So that the panel will not try to put the marks ikut hati, right? There's some guideline, right? So if the panel give high marks, the panel need to justify why the mark is high. In a way, we want to show the assessment. There's a justification on the assessment, right? And then we meet the criteria for EAC, right? For every single assessment, right? So these are the design, right? We want to design and to meet the EAC requirement. But at the same time, we are going to show that we have this guideline and this clarified to the panel that we are going to show the marks according to this, and we need justifications, right? Justification on the fairness of the marks, right? So the panel cannot do ikut hati, tak boleh ikut hati, right? Okay, so we have a number of them, right? For example, the panel need to do it, and we have a number of sharing. All these are actually put it on Google Form, right? Google Form, right? There's another thing I would like to share would be the peer review, right? Peer review is one of very criteria that we present to the faculty and the EAC, that the students, right, only 5 marks, only 5% on the total 100%, only 5% on the peer review, that we do it twice, week 5 and week 10, right? So the students are able to comment, criticize others members. In a way, we try to promote, right, that the student should have vocal, need to say it loud if the member are not performing well or just sleeping, right? We want the student to have this, the idea, right? When you get into collaboration with teamwork with others, right? You are able to say it out, right? That means you are helping the team, you're helping yourself as well, right? If you cannot collaborate, right? There are some cases, right? A few cases. The student cannot work together with a member, and they they request the committee to have a divorce. Divorce. They mean, oh, I cannot work together with a member. Divorce. They mean they want to separate. Eventually, I personally, I do encourage students to have this communication with members, right? And to help the member and remind the member to collaborate, right? And this is one of the criteria we try to promote, right? That is the personality not to be quiet. I hope this promotion on this peer review would help the student, right? Eventually, they are just work right, together, right? It's keeping harmony all the time, keeping quiet all the time, and helping others might not be a good idea eventually, right? So these are the idea that we implant to the student, right? Peer review. So each member, and not to be quiet. If the student ignore the peer review and keep quiet, he received zero marks, no marks, right? So at the end, there are some criteria, right? So these are the assessment, right? So I'm not trying to put all, right? So all these assessment meet the activities that I present just now, right? All the criteria that we present, and all the assessment meets to the criteria of the COO, PO meeting mapping that meet the criteria of EAC, right? So as a committee, right? As a committee, we try to help the faculty that the program meet the criteria of accreditation. But this is our job and motivation, right? So all the works that we presented in the faculty, and from time to time we need to improve, right? If we receive, right? If the faculty receive any comments, right? What they call improvement, right? Opportunity for improvement, right? To improve, or even concern, right? Even concern, right? Minor or major concern, right? We need to improve it, right? So these are very important. Very, very important in the process of a program, right? Very important. What else I want to share with you? EAC. Okay. So these are I want to show you our portal. Where is the portal? Hopefully I could show you the portal. Yes. Okay. This is our this is UTHM portal, right? UTHM portal. Can you see this official website, right? From author. Can you see author?
Yes, yes.
This is done by design internally. In time, we didn't buy this. We didn't buy this. It's done by UTHM, right? And UTHM faculty of electrical, faculty of mechanical, faculty of other faculties, all faculties, faculty of science, mathematics, they use the same platform, right? Author, and it's being developed, designed, and completed by UTHM under this called Pusat Teknologi Maklumat. Is a computer department, right? So under this service, right? So they develop this system. We need to go through, right? So one of it, right? This is mine, my personal author, right? Under my account, everybody have an account. It's linked to other UTHM system. I just to try to show you, right? And we have this IDP, right? And this is IDP. Dr. Hafizah is one of the coordinator. Right? Dr. Hafizah presented just now. So we have this portal. The student need to enroll into this portal, right? So I show you this just a conclusion, right? And we go back to this notepad, right? Notepad, right? As a summary, right? I just recap what I did just now. For the implementation of IDP, the first criteria that we meet is to answer ESC, right? So we design the model, we meet the criteria, and we present it to the faculty, and we proceed, right? So this is an iteration, right? We do it all the time, right? Every year I receive some comment, and recently I received some requirement to do improvement, right? To do improvement. We did it already, right? Improvement to meet this assessment, right? And then we did this implementation design, right? Design of implementation, right? We cannot just have this assessment, right? We need to break it down, right? Break it down into number of activities, right? We have this early activity list, right? All the activities meet this the design and COO mapping, right? We need to do that, right? And then we have effort on lecture series. Every semester we have a different lecture series, right? But the content are going to meet this capstone, right? And somewhere it depends on the effort and the recruitment of the speaker. Every semester we have roadshow, right? It's a conclusion, right? The conclusions, the prototype presentation by the group of students, right? They need to present it by hook or by crook. Deadline is given. They need to come up with some prototype. Some very good products, some so-so, right? Some they just trying to meet the requirement, right? But the deadline is given. The student and the supervisor need to meet the deadline. So all the scheduled jadual activity, jadual activity telah dikongsi pada permulaan semester. Week 1 already shared. But they need to know, they cannot tell me, right? They cannot tell me, oh, I don't know, right? Cannot, right? There's no excuse. There's no excuse that you do not know, right? We already published it officially. And for communication and this ini merupakan alat, these are the tools for communication, right? So we use Author, we use Porter, we use social media, YouTube and Google Drive, right? All the drive that we have. And especially on the time of pandemic, right? This is very helpful, right? And hopefully in coming semester, right? When the situation COVID-19 is reduced and we are safe to organize an event, right? That is more than 50, more than 100% event, right? And hopefully we are able to come up with this carnival, right? Or forums, or maybe a exhibition of roadshow, right? We're trying that, right? But we cannot do it now. It's very dangerous, right? We cannot guarantee the safety, right? It's very dangerous. So we do it. We did it on this social media, and all the template, right? We designed the template very much earlier, and we are very much reluctant to change the template unless under requirements, right? Request by the faculty that we receive some comment to improve by during this accreditation, right? We are very reluctant to change the assessment, right? Personally, the design that we come up, or the design, right? From one to the template, from the first one to the template, right? We never did it in one semester, right? We never did it one semester. All this design that I show you, actually, the improvement over a number of semesters in the last at least 3 years. At last 3 years, right? We did improvement, right? So I just want to share you. Once we have this model, we can improve the model part by part, right? But try not to do too much changes at once, right? It will be very difficult, especially when we try to explain. You know, we have this problem. We try to explain to supervisor, oh, ada capstone meh? Dia tanya saya, ada capstone? Capstone tu 1 semester ke 2 semester? Confused, right? Because when we change, right? And then capstone tu patut buat apa? So when we have implemented and they know about this and they already know this model, we try not to change too much. A minor improvement. Unless there's a major concern, and being commented by EAC panel under this accreditation process, we need to change and we need to discuss it, right? We need to discuss it before we implement it. So just to share my experience, right? Personally, this model do not come overnight. We cannot do this model, the design of this IDP overnight, over a semester. You cannot do it. It's a chaos, right? Initially, when we implement and starting this IDP, it's not a smooth way, right? It's not smooth, right? Okay, I think I have shared some of my experience and my concern, right, on this IDP capstone project in FKEE. So I hope that our experience would help you, and I would like to listen from you if you have any query or any advices or any suggestion or any question, right, from you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Harry, the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. T. I think it's a really interesting presentation from your side.
Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, here at Electrical Engineering Department at our faculty here, we also have this course. So I already mentioned at the beginning. So we have also some similarity, only that also there are some. I think your side is has done better. Maybe we also can learn from this. So from my point of view, because now there are a lot of students here in this attending this workshop. Probably they will ask about the project idea. I think you mentioned in one of your slides the theme of the capstone project, and I think this is interesting because usually, yes, just this one exactly.
This one, yeah. Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So probably if you can give an example, probably it will give an inspiration to the students that what kind of project that they can do in this course. So okay, so that's just maybe you can answer it later, but now I will give an opportunity to the participants to ask to Dr. Hafizah or also Dr. T. So here we also have some colleagues of mine, probably especially to the lecturer who teach the capstone project. I think there is Pak Aziz, Pak Imron, and then Bu Hesti also. Prof. Suroso is in the past he is also one of the lecturer in this course. So maybe there will be some questions. So please you can write it in the chat, or you can also turn on your microphone and you can ask directly. So please.
Yes, I'm ready for any suggestion, opinion, comments, and even questions. Right? Yeah, please. Probably before I receive any question, right? I forgot to share you this program book, right? Program book.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We have these program books that we actually design the roadshow every semester, right? Mm-hmm. So we have collection of titles, abstract of every group, right? And this is done before the roadshow, right? So we share this program book to all the participants, students, supervisor, and all, right? It's not a secret, right? It's not a secret. So program books, right? Program books. Last semester we have one, and for example, right, we have this IDP project, right, in a list, right? In a table list, we have a number of TEM, right? TEMA in team in IoT, smart city, smart traffic, right? Health, right? Blood pressure, for example. What else? Agriculture, health, right? All the titles, different titles, right? It's up to the supervisor and the discussion between the student, right? So we collect them, right? And for electrical power, they have some green energy project, right? Green. For those who are related to electrical power and electrical transmission, they might want to innovate their project into green energy or even this power generation on these sustainability energies. Right? It's up to the supervisor, right, and also the coordinator, right. For example, coordinator from electrical department, right, they propose on green energy. So they provide the students they encourage the students, right, to do this green energy related, right, or power related projects, right. So they have these solar battery inverter, wind turbine, right? Economy, power consumption monitor, right? So these are the tables, right? These are the tables. From each table we are able to get into. For example, this is the students, right? For example, the student, right? Students, right? Students and supervisor. Who are the supervisor and the abstract, right? So we request all supervisor and the group, right, to feedback what are the projects. So this is the book, right? This is the book that is a collection of the books about the topic and the abstracts for all the students, right? And then from here, we also deliver these books, right? We share this book to the panel, and we are presenting this book during this accreditation as well. So it is some sort of this is the outcome from the effort of the Capstone committee. Eventually, we have this outcome. Okay, we have a number of projects have been done, right? These are the number of projects done. If you are interested, you can see these are the projects, right? And there are some videos, right? Some videos that we can see on YouTube, which we are interested, right? For example, Dr. Chiu, right? Dr. Chiu and his group, right, had done Arduino-based soft starter refrigerator. Arduino, right? A lot of Arduino projects, believe me. ESP266, Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and what else? A number of them, right? But the tools is not important. Is the application, the scenario of the problem and what they are trying to solve, right? That is important, right? So a number of them, right? These are the books, program books, right? Every semester we have this, so we did it, right? Program books. This is my sharing, right? I just now I mentioned it in the slide and I forgot to share it with you, right? So any question about this implementation and design?
So yes, so please, we are still waiting if there are some comments. I think we have a lot of participants here. So I'm wondering, I believe there are some people who wants to ask.
Okay, Mr. Hari, I want to ask some question.
Sure.
Yes, thank you. May I know who's speaking?
I am Imran Rosyadi. I am a lecturer in electrical engineering.
Okay, Dr. Imran. Okay.
Okay, Dr. T, I want to ask you some question. First, regarding with the complexity of the project, can I ask you about the level of TRL, technology readiness level of the project? I mean, when you tell us about some topic, for example, business canvas model and so on, I believe that the project from your IDE project,
IDP, yes.
IDP, I'm sorry, IDP project, the level of the project will be higher than a prototype. For example, might be at the level of 6 or 7 in technology readiness level. So my question about the level of TRL. The second question regarding with the reporting. since in our university, we still need every student individually make a final report or undergraduate thesis. So the capstone design in our university, for each team need to separate it into need to be separated into some individual topics. So every student will make a individual report for himself. So my question, how about the reporting in your university? The report will be team report or individual report? And the last question about the team composition. Since we know that students are leveled by their competencies, for example, there are some smart students. There are also some lower grade students. So sometimes the smart student will be grouped into the smart students group only. So if we need to compose the better team, I think we need to regrouping it or to make a group with many competencies or many expertises, so to make sure the group will perform better. So my question, how about the team composition or group composition in IDP, in your IDP project? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Very good question, right? I try to answer. Is anything to add up, please, Dr. Hafizah, please help me to add in. Okay. Can you hear me, right? Can you hear me? Yeah. So I put it on my screen, right? On the notepad, right? Dr. Imran, thank you for the question. Right? The first question is about the what they call the definition. It's about the definition of complex engineering. So just now I did not elaborate very much deeply on what is complex engineering as defined by EAC manual, right? So the second problem is the report, right? What are the report requirement? Either is a group report or either individual report, right? I'll try to answer according to our design, right? Is the design, right? The last question that the Dr. Imran asked is the team combination, right? So what is the team combination, the criteria for the team combination? We actually have this concern, right? We have this concern. I'll share what we did, right? What we did. Right? Okay, the first question is about the complex engineering, the definition, the scenario, the requirement of this complex engineering problem. The first criteria about complex engineering is that it must be a real problem. A real problem that the student need to come up with what is the real problem, right? The real life problem, right? So it's not imagined. There must be some reference that is real. And then it has some constraint. Constraint, there are some constraint that there's engineering or could be human issue or could be some political issue or economic issue, constraint regarding to this problem, right? So there must be multiple consideration, right? Multiple consideration in terms of you know, it's not just technical, it's not just technical, right? So the consideration of this complex engineering, the complexity come into the sense it must have a number of factors that is actually we need to consider. We need to consider either this is the scenario, either something like the design, right, that is required by these people, right? People in the jungle, right? There's no power, right? People in the jungle, there's no power. So we need to come out the portability issue, right? You come up with this duration, what they call robustness issue. You need to come up with these human factor issues. So these are the complexities, engineering factors. We request the student to justify what are the scenario of the problem and what are the constraints and the challenges from multiple aspects and what are this engineering potential solution, right? The student is coming up with this potential engineering solution. right? This is actually the student, right? The student is coming up with this potential engineering solution, right? They need to present it, right? But we have this clause, right, in the report. The student need to answer this CPA and CPS, right? What are the activity and what are the solution, right? So if anything, Dr. Hafizah would like to add anything about this engineering, complex engineering? No?
I think this one for the complex engineering, I think Dr. T has highlight. But I heard just now Dr. Imran asking about the TRL level, right? Because Dr. T mentioned about the word prototype, and you want to look at which TRL level the outcome of the IDP project, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, please help. Yeah, please help.
All right. So can I add on that, Dr. T?
Yeah, please. Yes.
May I share the screen? Because I have I would like to share the slide, our briefing slide about the TRL. Is it okay?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Okay, so can you see the screen now?
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so maybe sometimes in our sharing just now, we are talking about prototype, and sometimes we are use the word project, sometimes we use the word product. And prototype also varies, the definition is varies depending on the field that we have, right? For example, our engineering people in the engineering field, we are expecting prototype is something that is tangible that we can hold. For example, watch we can hold, so we call it as prototype. But for people who works in computer engineering, for example, all are software, so they cannot touch, but maybe they can touch the phone and open it. That is the prototype. So prototype is the first thing I would like to highlight is the definition is varies depending on the field, right? And here for our faculty, okay, we have decided, since we have limitation in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the students are working online and not at the same place. So we still open, so the student can achieve any TRL level from 1 to 9. Okay. Even we still accept outcome of the project if they only can go up to level 3. Level 3 means experimental proof of concept, or maybe up to level 2. So for our case in our faculty, for level 2, maybe they have circuitry, they have intention to design a product, they have the circuit, right? And they can prove the concept of that product by showing simulation. Okay, so we do not really care about which TRL level that they had achieved, but we care more on the content of the design and the analysis. So weight of the report is depending on how much critical they report in terms of their design and their analysis, not the outcome of the project in terms of the tangibility. So so in our committee, okay, in the Capstone Project Committee, we work together and we come out with this design sheet. Dr. T has shared this one just now, but I would like to share more on the specification that we highlight here. For example, for the electrical project, okay, if we can read here, we highlight the issue of the socio-economic, the B40 means people with low income has affected due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So the question we give to the student, they are a group of engineers. Okay, they need to design a solution. Okay, and another specification is the solution must based on the needs of end user. Like Dr. T mentioned just now, we want they to involve with the society to solve this issue for this particular issue. But for the other team, of course, the end user are different, right? And if we look at the outcome that we expect, okay, the project can be renewable or could be extended to wider scope as any electrical or electronic product. So we use the word product here, but we do not mention about the TRL level. So it is open for the student to choose up to which level they can complete the project, because we only have I would say about 10 weeks to do the project. First week is briefing, And then after that, we have another event and so on. Okay, in week 12 and week 13, they have the showcase. So very limited time. But surprisingly, some students, they are very good. They can even finish up to the prototype, like mentioned by Dr. T just now. Okay, I think that's all I would like to add on, Dr. T. You can continue with the next
thank
slide.
you. Thank you for sharing. Right, improve the content. Yes, sharing, right? It's not just me, right? It's a sharing to all, right? The second question, right? Can you see the screen, right? The second question is about the report, right? The report in our design is actually a group report, right? It's a group report. That means the student actually write all together. The assessment will be shared and fair to all students, right? I didn't show you the template for assessment. Right? So the assessment has the criteria to meet, right? Where we meet this IDP, EDP assessment, right? Probably I'll show you this assessment, right? Go on. IDP, right? Assessment for report, right? Report as, right? Can you see the screen on the assessment for report, right? So these are the template we design, right? And this is the grouped assessment, right? For the report requirement. So we have this criteria for refer to the template, right? The template or report, right? We have done some criteria that we assess each part of the template, such as introductions, step analysis, engineering design. So we want the student to have sort of sensible statement and logical statement, right? So they are actually able to answer and identify what are the needs for this assessment, right? So this assessment, we are looking at multifaceted issues, right? Such as complexity of the scenario and what are the constraints of the scenario and the solution, right? So and this analysis and justification, right? Assess how they thought, how they consider, and as well as engineering skill, right? That is presented in the report, right? So the engineering skill, including all the engineering solution, prototype, the procedure they did, and as well as the budget, right? The budget, right? So these are the assessment, right? This is assessment. So in our way in FKEE, right? In FKEE, we know they are students who are talent. They are students who are slow. They are students who are not very interested in engineering, right? So this is the issue, right? So in our capstone design, the committee would choose the member. Right? We never let the student to choose, right? We choose the member, so they are a member of 4 or 5 in a group, right? And we ask the student to collaborate between themselves. Either they know each other or they do not know each other, right? So one of the challenge, right? One of the challenge in this Capstone project is team working, and they need to work. They need to work with different people, right? So in a scenario in industry when they work, right? In a lot of time scenario, right? We do not have the options. We do not have it. We do not have the option to choose member. We request the student to work in the group that we have already designed, and they are not going to change unless very severe scenario, right? Where they have very much conflict, and they forward to the committee. They want to have this do separately, and they want to separate the group. Very rare. Most of them, they are able to work together, right? Most of them. All right. So I hope that I answer Dr. Imran, right? Dr. Imran about this group, right? According to our exercise and as well as the team composition, right? I pledge for comments, suggestions, and questions from you, please. Ada soalan?
Maybe a follow-up question. So in my understanding, in FKEE, there is no requirement for individual thesis report from student. Is it right?
Can you repeat that, Dr. Imran?
Is there any obligation for every student to make individual undergraduate thesis?
That is under final year project thesis. That is under this capstone project is not final year project. It's different, right? Okay. So in FKE program design, right? Program design. The criteria for I just want to brief you, right? We have this what they call IDP, which is capstone, right?
IDP is capstone, okay.
Capstone, right? The criteria is on year 4, year 4 SEM 1. Right, year 4 SEM 1 when they meet all the criteria, year 4 SEM 1 in group, and as well as the students are going to meet this final year project, right, where they are going through 2 semester, right, final year project 1 and 2, right, in 2 semester, right, and this one capstone project is only 1 semester, one semester, right, 1 semester done. Final year project, they had done 2 semester, final year semester 1 and semester 2, right? Year 1, SEM 1 and SEM 2, right? They are doing on individual.
I see.
Yeah. So these are the criteria, right? They're different. They are different idea, right? IDP or capstone project will be highlighting on the capability on to solve a complex engineering problem where they are working in a group. They are working in a group. But final year project, they are going to report, right, the capability to solve a problem or research problems, right? Any problem, problem or research problem individually, right? So they are going to meet a number of criteria, right? There are a number of criteria. They meet different criteria, right? I hope I answered Dr. Imran about this, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it is clear.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's actually it's similar with our approach here in General Sudirman University, but I know that some College of Engineering or some university make capstone design as a final project, so the team will be smaller, might be just 1, just 2, or the member of the group just 2 or 3, but the technology readiness level will be higher, so because it is the final the final project. So
yeah.
So I think I understood that right now. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The challenge of this capstone project is that the time constraint.
Yes.
In one semester, 14 weeks, right? And then we have decided that we have to conclude the project in week 12 or week 13. So the student actually left only not much time, around 10, probably 11 weeks to complete the project, including the presentations, report, right? And in the process, they are going to communicate and collaborate between members and supervisors. I don't think they have much time to do project, to do the project, right? But we try to emphasize the project, the scope. We suggest to supervisor that the scope of the project should be narrower, because time is a constraint, right? Time is constraint. Yes. Any other questions? If you could share with us your scenario. Yes, I love to hear from you. Thank you.
Okay, I think it's Dr. T, Dr. Hafizah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Imran.
Thank you, Dr. Hari.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So maybe I will probably I will let one last question probably before we close our discussions. So probably for the students, I think if maybe I just realized that maybe our students are shy if they have to speak in English. So maybe you can ask in Bahasa Indonesia, and probably Dr. T or Dr. Hafizah will understand. So
Please, yes.
yeah,
I try my best. Try my best.
so I will let one of our students to ask something. I don't know who are you. There are a lot of students here. I don't know why they are too shy to ask.
Same in Malaysia, sama juga. Sama scenario dan sama.
So I think most of the students who attend this this meeting today is they are in 2000. So they come in 2020. So maybe they are now in the second year, yeah.
Second year.
So yeah, so they are not yet taking the Capstone Project course, because so here we are in the Capstone Project is in at the seventh semester. So it's so after
year four.
Yeah, exactly.
The same. We are in the year 4 as well. Year 4 sem 1, then the seventh semester. Yes. Same. Yes.
So anyone who wants to ask something from the student? Still nothing. Yeah. I think maybe I will finish this, but before we close this this discussion session, so yeah, I think we can make some summary here, so that so we have I think we this morning we learned a lot from Dr. Hafizah and also Dr. T about the implementation of Capstone Design Project at University Tun Husein Onn Malaysia. So I think there are some similarity
ya, karena saya senyum jadi akhir sekarang. Waduh.
With the course in
tapi kecut ya.
In our university here.
Ya.
So for example,
saya sih tetap saja kemarin kan.
For example, like the Google resource hacks. So it's similar here, Dr. T. So we also have this storage constraint if we have to put everything in our university server. So we also exactly. So it's also the same case here. So we also encourage. So we also use YouTube to upload the video presentations from the students, and also that. So here at our university, we have this what we call the. I think you saw the your author and the portal website at your university. And actually here we use what we call an LMS platform, the Learning Management System platform. And this in our university we use open source software. So it's Moodle, if you ever heard about this. And so because the Capstone Project is one of the course, and we put it there, the everything. When the student have to submit, for example, a progress presentations, and also the what is it, the assessment, also the peer review. So also it's member of the groups. They also make an assessment each other. So we also have this kind of assessment. So but it's done in this learning platform. So in your case that you use this Google Form application. So yeah. So I think that's all from my side. So before I before I return it to the Pak Saiful. So yeah, don't forget to take a picture together for memories. So from my side, once again, thanks Dr. Hafizah and Dr. T. If I say something wrong, so I'm sorry. So I finish. I conclude. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Hari. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for once again. I'd like to thank you for Dr. D and Dr. Hafizah about the sharing about the implementation of a Capstone Design project in UTM. So this is very good experience for us to hear a lot of input for General University, also especially for electrical engineering department. So we come to the end of event. So maybe before we close this event, maybe we can take one or two picture together as maybe like what I say about kenangan mungkin semacam tidak ada hadiah mungkin yang tanpa kita foto bersama seperti itu. Mungkin silakan maybe for all the participant please turn on the camera, so I will start to take a picture. Okay, for the student, please to turn on your camera. They don't need to shy because this event is good for us. Okay. There's a lot of participants and still turn off the camera. Okay, no problem. I will take the camera. Okay, I like to take. Wait a minute. Close the participant first. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. I will counting down. One. I will take a picture and the number 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I will save the file first. Wait a minute. Okay. Once again, maybe with more relaxed. Maybe waktu gesture mungkin lebih relax kayaknya seperti itu. Okay. I will take the picture. I will start then 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Thank you for the participant of to turn on the camera. Okay, I will save the file first. Okay. Finally, we come to the end of the event. So maybe as the presenter, I have so many mistakes. I'm sorry for the mistake for the bring from the end in this event. I'm so and hope this maybe this event will be have a beneficial for all of us. Okay. Once again, thank you for Dr. T and Dr. Hafizah and the lecturer in the Gender University and the student who participating in this workshop. Okay, I will close this event. Thank you so much for the participant. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, terima kasih semua. Terima kasih. Jumpa lagi.
Thank you,
Terima kasih
Dr.
Dr. T.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jumpa lagi.